Okay, so I walked around an area called Queen Street and just came from there, but I came through that building here and I just realized, look at these beautiful and colorful houses. So I just want to check what is going on there and how that street looks like. I might end up lost. Ah, no, it's just this little space. It's just a few houses, and I guess this is historical houses because obviously they're in a very different style than the rest of the neighborhood. If you'll notice, they're completely different. So there are stores. That one is kind of so just going to check to see what is around, what kind of stores are there. Oh, that one is a tarot something, tarot readings, and this one is clothing. Oh, that looks like nice. And this one looks very nice, like this house. And then, oh, it's gonna be coming soon a Moroccan restaurant. But see, it's completely different to the rest of the street. So I'm gonna continue. I'm gonna go back to the main streets. I just go through that building there. But it's I just saw this part here, so that's why I came just to to look at these little beautiful houses. It's a Japanese restaurant here. That one. So let's keep walking around here. So this is one of the kind of like the downtown of this city. It's Queen and Spring Garden. I think the most tourist place is Argyle Street. This that's the most touristy place and the most. But this is kind of like a downtown of the place. That building is the public library, and this public library is done by a Danish architect. Pretty sure that's should go inside just to check around. That's the public library. Apparently there is a good coffee place there besides all the. And then see the building is it's a picturesque building, very stylish and around there. Oh, so I guess that's the cafe in there. And it's a gallery. So that's the public library. It's pretty big. It's a pretty big building. It's open until 6 p.m. today. Okay. So that's nice. Oh, it's a big place. This one. Pretty big. It's pretty big. looks a little bit like this Central Library in Toronto. I wonder if it's the same architect. I know this is a Danish architect who did this one here, but I'm not sure about if it's the same architect and Toronto Public Library, like the main library in Yonge Street. It's the reading lounge and the coffee place. Oh, carbon neutral coffee. Let's see. Okay. So it says you purchase this coffee and you're fighting against the climate change. One thing about the climate change, apparently, what I heard is Cape Breton, which is 4 hours away from Halifax. It's the only place on Earth probably that is benefiting from the climate change. It's producing one of the best wines in Canada so far. Wineries are sprung everywhere, and apparently that's one of the best grapes, and that happened because of the climate change. So it's warmer, the climate is warmer there, Cape Breton, and that's the reason. So that's the only place on Earth that is to really benefit from climate change. So okay, I'm gonna keep going. That's the church that I saw, and it was not working when it was closed, it was not open. I'm just gonna check to see if by any chance it's open now. I was in my way up here is the Basilica. Hopefully it's open. If not, I'm gonna come back in another time. There's a statue of Winston Churchill over there, right in this building. That is one historical building as well. It's the Halifax Memorial Library, and I think that building was donated by UK, so, or something to do with the UK. I'm not sure. I'm just gonna check around. So that's the Halifax Memorial Library and Winston Churchill statue. I did a little bit of shopping. I'm gonna tell you the prices here, they are way lower than Toronto. I found a nice store that has no tax, so I knew exactly what I was paying. It's not like the surprises that comes when you add up the taxes. So this is another historical building. It's let's see, what is this? Oh, it's the Halifax Courthouse. So there's a courthouse here. Okay. And over there, you remember yesterday my video, they have this place, Rogers Square. One of the best pubs here apparently is that huge place that I passed by. So I'm here, for sure I'm gonna try to check it out before leave Halifax. Because looks like this guy was telling me that it was really good, and you get a nice pint, and also the food is pretty decent. He said it's very, very good food for being a pub. It's a gigantic pub, so I have to check. So it's a little bit of, there's a church here too. Church is this? looks like. Because the road is closed. Another interesting store here. Okay, so I'm gonna continue going and then we check other places. Okay, this